let's go to Saturday. We've got the Big 12 championship, BYU, Texas Tech. Texas Tech 13.5-point favorites, 50 the total in this game. I mentioned James Madison, zero interest stepping in their way. I'm going to mention it now with Texas Tech. Zero interest. Zero interest getting in front of this Texas Tech team. Doesn't mean I'm going to lay it with Texas Tech, but there's no chance I have a BYU ticket in my pocket here in this game. You look at this, and they already showed what they could do against BYU back in November, 29-7 in favor of Texas Tech in that game. They're pretty much in control throughout. Got off to a bit of a slow start in the first half, but then they poured it on in the second half and just basically controlled the line of scrimmage throughout. Texas Tech was able to pile up, 149 rushing yards on the ground, 219 through the air. Pretty good balance with Baron Morton at quarterback. They did a good job, limiting L.J. Martin on the ground for BYU. The pass, Chase Roberts had one touchdown reception from Bear Bachmeier in that game, but still, like I said, it's definitely been a Texas Tech defense that did a pretty good job keeping the clamps down there on that BYU offense. One thing that's interesting is Kalani Sitake Mushrooms, he decided I'm going to rest some guys last week. They were still able to win and still able to cover despite a slow start against UCF last week, 41-21. But like I said, I worry, about how that offense is going to be. And does that throw off the rhythm that you had some guys out, of that game last week against UCF, knowing that they were trying to get, some of their starters some rest here for the Big 12 championship game. But like I said, I'll keep it simple here. This is the favorite or pass for me. I just have zero interest in betting against and Texas Tech getting in their way. All 5 of their wins on this 5-game win streak since their loss to Arizona State have been covers as well. 5-0 straight up, 5-0 against the spread. They already have a 22-point win against BYU just a few weeks ago. 48-9 against UCF, 49-0 against West Virginia last week. I mean, they're drilling teams right now. So hard to step in front of the Red Raiders. CMAC, Big 12 championship. And this game, by the way, Jerry's World, as it always is, AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit. It's just BYU, the team that's won on the road all year. This is the biggest for Texas Tech. I mean, this team hasn't seen a defense like this. I can't remember. They'd have to win in shootouts. And all 3 levels are good with this defense. I mean, they stuffed the run. The line, the secondary is pretty good as well. Of course, they got, what's his name? Rodriguez, the linebacker. That's really, really good. I think they're 3rd or 4th in sacks. They get to the quarterback in all of college football. So, yeah, this is just the second time around a little bit. Can BYU make the adjustments? These are the games, too. You got to throw the kitchen sink a little bit. Trick plays. I mean, some of the, where it's just your offense, especially if you can't move the football at times, you might have to do that.
Get some gadget plays with that Parker Kingston guy, because that guy in base is very dynamic. That's what I'd be looking to do if I'm BYU, because you got to trick it up here in a game like this to give yourself the best chance against a defense like this.
For sure. I mean, BYU is just, it was just tough. I mean, they ran it 27 times for just 67 yards, which is about what Texas Tech gives up, to people. Just right around there, 67 yards a game. So Bachmeier's tough. Maybe the BYU defense is going to have to make some plays here. Flip the field, stuff like that. This Texas Tech offense. So, yeah, I know it's tough in this game. Have BYU get over 17.5 points. That's right. I don't know. But second time around. Should be fun.
Yeah, this is one where I don't know if I love BYU under or Texas Tech over their team totals. If I like Tech, I would just maybe go with the number 13.5, because I could see this being 30 to 16, 30 to 16, 30 to 13, something like that. 31 to 16. It could be that kind of game. I think it could be BYU. I don't think Texas Tech is going to completely annihilate them, but I still think they could win by at least 2 touchdowns. I have no interest in fading them. They've been the class of the Big 12 start to finish season.
Can they push them around like they did? BYU tries to do that for the most part against all these other teams.
Yep.
Of course, with their 26-year-old grown men on their offensive line and defensive line. But they couldn't do that first time around.